Then I saw this video about this, about how guys are like maybe shy or scared to ask girls out now. I don't know why they're not going up to a woman. Like, what's holding them back from that?
Because of feminism and Me Too and all that shit. And because women
Because-
will put men on blast who like maybe awkwardly approach them.
Yeah.
And like also those gym TikTok videos where girls like work out in the gym and then there's like a guy who like glances at them for like 1 second and they blast them. That's what guys are scared of. And these guys aren't even doing anything wrong. Sometimes they're not even looking in their direction. But like, so there's like this social component now where like people are terrified to get like exposed on social media. So
these days, men's hesitation to approach women, it is not a secret. Let us not fool ourselves. For that, you can credit feminism, the Me Too movement, and the constant discourse about respectful boundaries and permission. The rules of the dating game have changed. So good luck finding a traditional partner. Saying hello in person has been supplanted by swiping left on dating apps and social media to the point where it is nearly fossilized. In-person conversations, they occur almost as frequently as sightings of unicorns. Furthermore, let us...
Men don't want the traditional women no more.
I don't think it's that men don't want the traditional women anymore. I think it's a number of factors right there. Let me just deal with the unsexualized part. The hoes they got better bait. That's really the thing. But what they're drawing in is different from what the more conservatively dressed woman, the conservatively dressed sexy woman is drawn in. I don't like when we go to extremes where it's either, you know, Brittany Renner is what we're talking about when we say the hoe, but we're talking about Brittany Cooper when we talking about the conservatively dressed woman. Like no. There's a middle ground of a solid, decent looking, cute, attractive woman that's conservatively dressed but still got some sex appeal.
What I can appreciate about Passport Bros is I think it's an effective flag being raised for Western women as well. I'm not necessarily saying that they're going to find someone. I'm not saying that they're not going to get screwed over. I'm not even necessarily saying that I would encourage men to go do it. Like you said, if you want to, cool. The motivation for it is the fact that men are still expected to act very traditionally. They're expected to be very chivalrous. They're expected to be protectors. Maybe they're not expected to provide to the same extent now that women can essentially match them on income. But if that's what a man's duty to you is, to be chivalrous, it's very, very loosely defined what a woman's duty to a man is.
It's very ambiguous.
And that is why I think they go to places where they are actually taught from a young age how to treat a man. What is your duty to a man?
To be honest, I'd rather just be a little lonelier than deal with all the hassle of dating. I'm really not in a place emotionally and financially where I can deal with sorting through a bunch of misses to find a missus. Nowadays with dating apps, there's always something new and more exciting just around the corner. So many women I've dated have abruptly broken things off because they found something more exciting. Dating is like taking on a part-time job. I don't have the time or the energy. I'm sure all of you can relate to that. Social media, Hollywood, and porn have really altered the expectations of the general public across the board when looking for a mate. It's actually really messed up psychologically when a person thinks about it. Specifically, unrealistic expectations are held by people who conveniently hold themselves to extremely low standards but feel entitled to the best. More specifically, unrealistic expectations are held by people who act like victims when they're confronted with equally high expectations.
Dating after you are 40 years old is ghetto. Like, it's so ghetto. Especially if you're like a woman who's independent and got her own. I think the dating pool is way smaller for us. Like, I am so over it. I'm over it. I'm 40 years old and I get it. I don't look like I'm 40. So I attract a lot of young men and like I am very vibrant and I listen to like reggaeton, trap, all that stuff that is like appealing to like the younger kids or whatever. But like even the dudes that are my age, like they're playing games. They're playing games. Like, baby, I don't got time to be texting all day. Like, plan something. Plan something. Like, I don't got that time to be on the phone, texting back and forth, what you doing this, and like,
Us not act as though relationship catastrophes like betrayal abuse, and adultery are merely small hiccups. Because of these severe wounds, putting your trust in someone else feels like stepping into the ring with Tyson again. So, what is the wise course of action? Men are staying away because they are sensible, not because they are afraid. Would anyone in their right mind want to relive that nightmare of healing? It seems to make sense to put your health first rather than resuming your dating life.
Do not even, like, app is deleted. I'm done with it. I gave it a good 3 months, tried it, and it was just like endless texting. Endless texting for nothing. Like, why are you on a dating app if you're not trying to meet people? For what? I feel like in this time, in this generation, men are just emotionally unavailable. They're just not, they don't want to be emotionally available, especially when they meet a woman that is got her own, is successful, pay all her bills, is pretty, is knowledgeable. Like, what the F? What in the actual F? What in the actual F? I am just like over it. I am so done. Like, I don't want to date. Like, I'm done. Like, I hate dating. I don't, they want to talk to like multiple people and see which one. Like, no, I am the price. Like, I am the price. You're not going to try to play me around to see which one of these you're talking to is better than me. I'm better. Nah. Anyway, thanks for listening to my rant. I don't know who can relate, but I'm just so done. Like, I'm done. Dating and
Not to mention how difficult it is to date women in today's world. It is similar to tossing money, time, and effort into a black hole where there is very little to no chance that anything valuable would emerge. So, what is the point? Men are beginning to realize they have far better things to do unless someone spectacular just happens to fall into their laps. It all comes down to establishing your priorities, and for many people, dating just is not enough anymore, though let us not.
Women think that if I do it more for him, listen, like that if I pick up his kids, if I give him as much sex as he wants, if I turn him out, if I show him I'm that ride or die chick, I'm that chick, right? Then the more I do, they think that I'm going to get his affection. But that ain't how men operate. And y'all can tell me this. Watch this. A man doesn't commit to the woman for what she does for him. He commits to her based on who she is to him. Now watch this. If I look at that same woman and I look at a woman who nurtures me, empowers me, helps me to grow, supports me, all of a sudden, the way
I have been out and about and doing my thing, but just checking in, some new things going on, wanted to see what you guys thought. I have been seeing a younger guy, about 10 years younger than I am, and he does okay for himself. He has a cute little house out in the country, and the truth is it's not my thing. And he understands that and knows that I have a different background than he does, and I have a different net worth than he does, and I know I'm going to come off like a bitch and sound like, you know, I don't have my head on straight, but it's definitely a lifestyle change, and I'm wondering if anybody's experienced this. I really care about him, and he really cares about me, and we've done a lot of chatting about this, but he's probably not ever going to want to move out of his cute little house.
Not sugarcoated. Online dating is more like a circus than a leisurely stroll in the park. It may be the preferred method of meeting people these days. It is a complete maze, even though it is convenient. That never-ending spread of possible matches, instead of being liberating, it is downright debilitating, trapping men in a never-ending cycle of swiping and making them too afraid to commit to anything more than a cursory swipe left or right. And let us face it, the foundation of internet dating is utter superficiality. Sincere ties, when everyone is more preoccupied with honing their filters than genuinely getting to know someone, good luck with that. Then
I'm probably never going to want to move into his cute little house in the country, just because I'm a Libra. I'm into my surroundings. I need to be like aesthetically happy, and there's a lot of work to be done, and I don't think it's going to get done. So anyway, I know this is like totally superficial and stupid, but this is what's on my mind, and I wanted to get somebody's opinion. I don't need haters telling me I'm a bitch and I need to be, coming down off my high horse. I understand that people come from different backgrounds and do different things, and we all have to kind of make our way and feel right with who we end up with. So just checking. Anybody date younger people who might not be in the same financial spot as you, and your comfort level with that? Maybe guys are more comfortable with it just because it's the traditional role, but and maybe I'm not comfortable with it because it's not the traditional role. I don't know. I'm just asking. It's what's on my mind, and there you go.
Prenups are regularly thrown out all the time. They're typically non-enforceable, especially the longer the marriage goes on, the less likely they are to be enforced. So, you hear a lot of these stories, prenups just get thrown out. I think are going to have to rewrite the marriage laws to incentivize men to get married, because men are waking up to the fact that men get absolutely destroyed in marriage and in divorce. Financially, when it comes to the kids, women are more likely to get custody. 50% of marriages end in divorce. I think you said 80% of divorces are initiated by women.
90% if she's college educated.
90% if she's college educated. 90% of child support payments go from men to women. 97% of alimony payments go from men to women. So it's just marriage. If you're a betting man, it's not a good bet.
Is dating today, in your opinion, harder than it's ever been?
I was friends with my boyfriend before we started dating, and I feel like that's a more natural transition than like seeing features on your screen and trying to make a decision based on like a list of things.
People just try and avoid things because I think they're scared to say things straight up.
One red flag and you're kind of like, oh, I could go find somewhere else. You don't need to have one person when you could have like 5.
Honestly, I don't know. I've had really bad luck. So everything. Like, I've been treated like shit.
I think a big part of it is because of social media.
People see a lot, they exposed to a lot. They're always looking for better.
Everyone is always looking for the best thing, and they always think something else is around the corner, and you almost have too much access to too many people.
And there are the older ladies who arrive with a long list of demands, such as wanting to date a man even though they would not move into his house. These purported preferences for independence and comfort, please, it is simply another method to make things more difficult and elicit angry outbursts from guys. Drama, incompatibility, and never-ending headaches are certain. All this crap is just too much trouble for guys who want to develop something substantial.
Or maybe they're just genuinely not interested in you and they're not trying to play a game. A lot of men don't play games. It's not always about you.
Peace is what a man is looking for.
Men just want a nice, sweet, supportive woman.
The easiest way to keep a man is be the only place he can find genuine peace.
Not beauty, not money, not status. Do we want those things? Yes. But where we find peace, we will settle.
If you can give a man true peace of mind, where he can just sit, chill, and turn his brain off, even for 10 minutes, I swear to God, he'll always come home to you.
So when I tell women, you need to be a man's peace. You need to make sure he has a peaceful home and a peaceful relationship. If you disturb that, he will look for peace elsewhere.
How I feel after going out in public and getting 0 compliments, 0 people approaching me, 0 people asking me for my number when this is a known thing for girls to experience.
The reason why men don't chase as much anymore is because they can easily go onto Tinder, go onto a dating app, and they can start swiping and find another database of women that they can start flirting with or love bombing.
I've not been on a date for 2.5 years. 2.5 years, okay? Single mom.
Just leave us alone.
6 feet, 6 figures, 6 pack.
What is the real reason that you've given up on dating altogether or haven't dated in 10 plus years?
To be honest, I'd rather just be a little lonelier than deal with all the hassle of dating. I'm really not in a place emotionally and financially where I can deal with sorting through a bunch of misses to find a missus. Nowadays, with dating apps, there's always something new and more exciting just around the corner. So many women I've dated have abruptly broken things off because they found something more exciting. Dating is like taking on a part-time job. I don't have the time or the energy. I'm sure all of you can relate to that. Social media, Hollywood, and porn have really altered the expectations of the general public across the board when looking for a mate. It's actually really messed up psychologically when a person thinks about it. Specifically, unrealistic expectations are held by people who conveniently hold themselves to extremely low standards but feel entitled to the best. More specifically, unrealistic expectations are held by people who act like victims when they're confronted with equally high expectations.
This concludes our A4 anonymous coverage for the day. Click that like button, please. Make sure you hit that notification bell in addition to subscribing. Leave a comment telling us what you think. Have a great day tomorrow.